you are listening to Dr. Troy Munson with Words of Radiance. Now here is your host, Dr. Munson.
Hello and welcome. I'm Dr. Troy Munson on Words of Radiance. And this particular podcast is not necessarily for the advanced spiritual student. You may find yourself just beginning to dip your toe in this celestial soup, so to speak, but you may find yourself achieving instantly amazing elevations that you have never experienced before. And for those of you that are perhaps old hat at this spiritual walk stuff, you may find even you achieve great things today, because this is a day that anytime we can release suffering for joy, it is a great thing. But this very day you have the ability to do amazing things and to go places that you never thought possible. So let's begin. Now, I want to set some ground rules, so to speak. I don't mind whatever words you wish to use for the source of everything, or the infinite, or universal intelligence, or God, or Father, or Goddess. I just don't have a whole lot of issues with words. If you find yourself having some holdouts with words or some problems with verbiage, I'll have you put in place of some of my words that may bother you, things that are more meaningful and are less inflammatory to your head. So let's talk through some concepts real quick. The source is the source of everything, and it's one point. And that source can create anything and everything because it is the source of everything. The source of truth, the source of knowledge complete, the source of love, the source of life itself, the source of literally everything. And that source decided to create a child. And that source being one, and one with everything, and everything that is created still one with the source, is also still one with that child. And that child is one. So if we want to say God has one son, that is okay. And that sonship includes us all. Now that son we can call many things, but things that are most appropriate, that hold the kind of power and value that puts that term into correct usage, is Christ. And so Christ is that one son. And you are that one son, just as much as I am. And we are all one, and one with the source. We did not become a source unto ourselves, but it is a pass-through, if we want to call it that. And more poignantly, we are simply one with the source. We've never left the source, and the source has never left us. We're all still one, even though distinct. And so, might be a little confusing, but it might be very much freeing to some of you that think that you're separate and punished and condemned and things of that nature. And that is not so, because today is about releasing all forms of suffering. Now, your forms of suffering may be, or they might seem very specific to you. And you say, well, does this include mine too? Yes, it includes yours too. You can give up it completely today for joy. And when you start, even if you close your eyes and think, I am one with the source, and the source is one with me. I've never been separate, neither has it been separate from me, and that source wants only my best, and he gave me all the power, all the life, all the love, all the joy, all knowledge, all truth was given unto me forever and ever, and that is true. And when you think that way, you should already start to get a lifting or a lightening of any burden that is upon you. But let's begin to go into this. So when I say let's begin, this is basically training moment. The more that you can go into that peaceful time and push the world away. Let those sounds of chaos begin to quiet down. Let the voice that is yours, that is the source's, start to come through and begin to speak to you about the amazing things that you are, and call to you and respond to that voice in an effortless way. So, today we practice. How do we really get to the point that we know that we are now one with He who is our source? And so that time that you can do that is now. It won't be 5 minutes from now, because when 5 minutes gets here, it'll be now again. So the time is now. This instant is the time with which we practice. And every instant of the day that you can practice this, there is tremendous joy that is there to reach you at all times. And so as this world fades away from our sight, and the sound grows dim, and increasingly more distant, we now all of a sudden have this new sound come to us, a call from that one voice that is ours, that is the source, and grows more and more distinct until that is the sound that we hear. And our real self, the Christ that is us, that Son of the source, that Son of everything, the Son of God, answers for us and gives consent and deliverance from everything that we thought we had done. When all of this world goes away and we're left at heaven's door and realize that heaven is far more real than this physical world, that everything here is merely mostly space, that nothing here is going to last, and everything that we thought we did doesn't have any permanency, because in the beginning when the Source created us, it created us in its image, which was perfect, holy, sinless, righteous, without defect, and that is what we remain. To believe that we could have become something else is quite insanity. And so as we now begin to give way to this quietness and let that voice speak the truth to us over and over and over, and we give up all of the things in this world that we thought that we should cling to, that we didn't realize were of very little value, then the world becomes silent, and the thought of sin never touches us ever again. And we remember, as we faithfully practice each moment into this silence, that we find treasure waiting for us, unimaginable joy, unimaginable love, and peace, and happiness. And if we had need for any knowledge, it would be presented to us at that moment, without a doubt. And certainty now begins to dawn on our mind. And we lay down our arms. We now begin to walk towards the light that is so comforting, so warm, so pleasant, so beautiful, that the things of this world we simply almost pull aside as if just a thin veil. And we realize the whole time what was stopping us was literally nothing. Judgment is gone. Innocence dawns on our eyes. And we see with those wonderful eyes of Christ that is us, the truth of who we are. And we begin at that point to now let each day be more and more sacred. And we see each other as the truth of who we are, that we are truly one, that when I see you, holy, sinless, and righteous, I must recognize that in myself. But if for a moment I should judge you and see you faulty, or lacking, or not right, I must have first seen it in myself first. So as I choose not to see that anymore, I let go of those thoughts. I do not value finding fault, but now I value finding the innocence in my brother and the peace in each one of us. So today we will not judge anymore, and yet will receive the forgiveness that was given us in the beginning, the moment that we thought that there was something wrong with us. the moment that we had a thought apart from the source, we realized that forgiveness was made known, and it was waiting for us the entire time. And so as we practice this stillness, we realize that Christ calls to us, for the help he requires is simply the need to save each mind on the planet, to tell each mind the truth as you have now heard it, and to spread that truth to each mind that we meet, and tell them of the beautiful vision worthy of our purpose. And as we look beyond the world's unsatisfying goals, we realize immediately the truth of that worthy purpose. And so let us slip by this day and accept each gift as it's given to us, and receive that wonderful, joyful present that has always been with us. And we practice in earnest. Every moment that we can and every moment that we give increases that joy within us and those around us, even though we may not be able to see even ones very far away that we're having an impact on right now. They are forever changed and released along with us. And so, could we possibly withhold so little the decision, simply that small decision to say yes? Could we resist knowing that everything in this world is going away and is valueless and without any real purpose whatsoever? Could we allow that to withhold us 1 second longer when the hand of the source holds out complete salvation to his Son? Of course not. This is the day we exchange all suffering for joy. I'm Dr. Troy Munson on Words of Radiance.
Thank you for listening to Dr. Munson's Words of Radiance. We hope you enjoyed our show.